Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Save Infinity. In this video, I just wanted to briefly talk about the topic of, well, I don't know if it's like the official terms, but I would just call it like shapeshifters and spellwork. I'm not like an expert or anything in this area, but just from my own like observations and such on my own awakening journey. I thought I'd just share in case it helps anyone out there, or if you've experienced something similar, just to know you're not alone. So with the realm of shapeshifters, as we'll call it, I'm not sure what's going on there, if it's like a glitch in the matrix, if it's like reptilian shapeshifters, or how it works. But there's been like instances with people I do know and don't know, when speaking with them or interacting with them, it's like their face almost like glitches out, and does like this weird kind of thing where it kind of like makes it seem like they're not quite just, I don't know, like normal human aspect, how we kind of tend to think, whether it's just like, your own kind of timeline shifting in and out and glitching. If it's, like I said, that they're like a reptilian shapeshifter or something, and their mask is kind of like shifting or glitching out, or if it's like, a glitch in the matrix or something. But it can be a little bizarre and a little take you back a little bit when you do see it, because, it's like, what's happening here? And I guess the interesting part for me too is like, it doesn't seem like the rest of their body seems so impacted, but just like their face, I don't even know how I would describe it, but it is just almost like a glitch, like a yeah. So that's a peculiar thing to experience, and as I said, no idea what's going on there, but it does have just a little, peculiar aspect to it when you're looking at someone and all of a sudden their face just does a little like a glitch out. And then the other thing I wanted to briefly talk about is like spell work and such. Just on this journey and stuff as well, sometimes I guess just being mindful and such of people you're interacting with and such, and things that they might be saying to you, and just like the power of their words and such, especially if they are saying like negative things or such like that. I don't just mean in every instance as well, when people just, say negative things unconsciously, not trying to actually, put like a spell over you or to like manipulate your mind. But we do have, the power of our words and such like that hold a lot of power, and the energy, and, it's almost like hypnotizing people in a way. And I think some people are probably a bit more like powerful with that. And so I guess just like from my own experience, I was, talking to like a spiritual professional, I guess you could say, just to try to kind of, get some advice and such on my own journey. And, I'm not sure if it was like intentional or not, but just makes me second guess a little, especially as they are a spiritual professional, that they might be a little more, not necessarily trained, but just a little more powerful in the realm of, casting spells with their words sort of thing, or, almost like hypnotizing you or what have you. Because just during our meeting, they were saying just some really random, peculiar, like negative things that I hadn't heard of before, and didn't really quite seem like something they needed to be saying. And it almost seemed like they were trying to convince me of those things, or to have those things happen in my reality. Which, I'm not too sure what that's about. I guess just for an example, I don't want to like say too much in case then I'm like, spreading spell work or something. But even just like, they asked, what part of town I live in and stuff. And then they were asking me like, oh yes, do you like, do you notice all the terrible smells around in that area? Have you noticed all the bad smells in that area? I was like, well, no, I haven't. But, you know, why are you saying that? And just like, you know, asking things like, oh, when this happens to you, do you get these sort of symptoms? And we're like saying like negative symptoms, almost like they were trying to convince my mind that I should experience those symptoms when those things happen, like symptoms that you wouldn't want. So yeah, a little interesting and something to be mindful of. I guess just, you know, when people are saying certain things to you, just to use your own discernment and stuff and be more mindful of what does resonate and doesn't resonate for you, and don't just blindly like listen and take on everything that someone is saying, because then you might actually almost be convincing yourself of that and then bringing that into your reality, if that makes sense. You know, if they're saying these things to you, especially if they have a more of an authority position and you're just taking all their word for it, then you might actually start experiencing those things because you've essentially like trained your brain into believing that. So yeah, just something to be a little bit mindful of on such a journey. You know, just be mindful of the things you are listening to or the things that people are saying to you, and how you are taking that on for your own experience and how that could manifest in your own experience and reality. You know, I'm not saying it's like legit like spell work, but just an easy term for it, of how sometimes people can use words, because words are powerful, to, you know, whether they're doing it intentionally or not, but to like convince you of those things so that they do start happening to you, almost like a little trick of the mind. So yeah, just something to be mindful and careful of, and just to, you know, be wary of if you do experience those sort of things, that yeah, that is something that can happen. All right, guys, I hope you have a lovely day. Sending you so much peace, love, light, and blessings as always.